Greetings, my wonderful students. Today we begin a review of the Russian Revolution. And here we have pictured right here, that is Vladimir Lenin, leader of the Bolshevik or Russian Revolution, giving a speech. Karl Marx. We start with Karl Marx. Now, Marx blamed the poor working and living conditions of the 1800s on capitalism. And he said that the working conditions are eventually going to cause the workers, which he called the proletariat, to overthrow the owner class, as he called them, or the bourgeoisie. This would be the communist revolution. Now, in Russia, the Bolsheviks wanted to seize power and create a communist government based on Marx's ideas. They had studied Karl Marx, and they wanted that government, that utopian society that Karl Marx said was going to happen. Russia was doing very poorly in World War I. This helps cause the Russian Revolution. So there were many food and fuel shortages, and the Tsar was increasingly unpopular because he continued to fight this war, which was very unpopular as well. So Lenin promised the peasants, the bulk of the Russian people, land, bread, and peace. He did this in order to gain their support for his revolution, and they supported his group, the Bolsheviks, for power. So Lenin and his communist Bolsheviks seized power in November 1917, toppling the provisional government. Soviet leaders then nationalized private industries. They put them all under government control. The economy almost collapsed as a result of this. So Lenin backed off of communism and allowed some private ownership for small businesses, his new economic policy, or NEP as it was called. Now, Lenin died and Joseph Stalin took power. Stalin ended the NEP and returned to a full command or communist economy. He instituted the 5-year plans. He wanted the Soviet Union to industrialize quickly. So he planned out the economy for 5 years at a time. Now, the purpose of this plan was to industrialize quickly, and he started with farms. Small farms would be combined into large ones owned by the government, and then the government would provide farm equipment for these larger farms. This was called collectivization, and it was meant to use government force to mirror the natural process that had happened in Britain of the enclosure movement. Any extra food they grew would then be sold to buy machines for factories that would be built in the cities. The effects. The 5-year plan succeeded in increasing production in some areas, but too much food was taken from the peasants, on purpose in fact, in the Ukraine, and 6 million Ukrainians starved to death in this forced famine caused by Stalin and his collectivization program. Stalin instituted a totalitarian system. Totalitarianism is where the government controls the press, the radio, etc. Imagine the government being able to control everything you read or heard. The people would have no rights, and the government would use secret police to spy on people. This particular graphic shows how the system would work. The state would control the church, the family, the economy, the school, the media. So the national government controls all of those things, meaning you have no real say. And you're going to believe, probably, what the government tells you because that's all you're allowed to hear. And that is our study of Bolshevism.